What is going on, my people? You glorious Sunday savages. I know I don't normally post on Sundays, but a little update for yesterday's video. Some of y'all tracking, some of y'all are not. If you're not, you're probably enjoying your weekend and tuning out all the shenanigans, so I get that too. Like I told y'all, interesting times. Imagine being American, voting for a candidate in the primary, that candidate winning in the primary, eliminating all the other candidates, and then when that candidate's getting his ass kicked in the general, polling up to the general, the powers that be decide, yeah, your voice as an American doesn't count. This guy's got to go. And we're going to select someone. So old Sleepy stepped out of the 24 race today and endorsed Cackling Kamala. Interesting. I told y'all yesterday, she's doing even worse against the boss than Sleepy was. Makes you ponder some shit. Well, Joe did endorse her, so she is going to get the cash that he has from the campaign. However, pause for effect, ... There's all politics and optics going on here. All smoke and mirrors, folks. Just like all the bullshit in the stock market and other areas. It's all optics. Joe endorsed her. However, Barack did not. And is lobbying for an open convention. Had Joe not endorsed her, it would have been a dagger through the heart of their voting base. Why? Because that party is still focused on race and politics instead of understanding the people are over it, past it, beyond it. They don't give a fuck about race, sex, religion, or otherwise. They want the best qualified candidate in the position. Put them in the best position to win. It's like that everywhere. They just haven't come around to the reality of it yet. So Joe endorsed her even though he didn't want to, because the white man had to. Being she's female and of another color. I'm not going to get into that debate. I know some of y'all will fucking comment on it. But the black man did not. King Obama said, nah, I'm cool off that. So it's highly doubtful that Cackling Kamala and her fucking horrible record will be the nominee come the convention. So I doubt it'll be Hillary. Everybody's out there going, oh, Hillary 2.0. That would be a fucking blessing, because Hillary is worse than Biden and Cackling Kamala at the polls. Even Democrats hate Hillary. Now, you got probably 15-20% of their base that are absolute fucking lunatics with colored hair and go on their fucking tirades, losing their mind about shit, can't decide fucking which way's up, down, left, right, or the other. They'll support Hillary, but it's a very small number considering the amount of voters that have supported that party in the past, which I believe is significantly less now, because everybody is ready for a change. The left went so far left, the right is now in the center, and people are understanding that the moderates are in the GOP. And even the GOP is realizing people on the far right, those motherfuckers got to go too. Because they're fucking lunatics. Anything far right or far left is definitely not good for the growth and prosperity of this country. I'm a moderate conservative. I do have beliefs that I'll stand by. However, that is my moral value and standard, and I cannot hold you accountable to my moral value or standard if you do not claim to believe the same thing that I do. So, that being said, it'll be really interesting. I still don't see them pushing Gruesome Newsom. I see him as a viable candidate for 28. It'll most likely it's going to be Gretchen Whitmer or J.B. Pritzker. Maybe one of these other outliers, but they don't have a national currency politically yet, so it'd be real hard to run someone this short of a time frame that doesn't already have a national name. However, pause for effect, ... Gretchen Whitmer is an absolute fucking nightmare. This bitch, I'm not even going to get into it. Y'all can do the research on fetching Gretchen and her tirades and debacles involving some three letters to oppress the people in the state of Michigan. Michigan hates Gretchen. Hates her. In fact, she made a statement the other day on Saturday about President Trump's rally. And something along the lines of Michigan ain't falling for it. They ain't showing up. These people ain't showing up for you. And President Trump had one of the biggest turnouts in a long time filling that arena. So, I mean, she does not have her finger on the pulse of voters in Michigan, and some of y'all here from Michigan, you can chime in as well. J.B. Pritzker is just another Dem, and unfortunately, at this point, if they haven't stood up against what's been going on the last 3, 8, 10 years, 20 years in their party to help make their party a party for the people instead of a party for the establishment, they don't stand a chance. They really don't. I know it'll never happen, but the best thing the DNC could do at this point is concede fucking 2024 presidential. Concede it. We're not running anybody. We concede, and then focus all their efforts and divert all their campaign monies into down ballot candidates in hopes that they can remain in some way, shape, or form within the political spectrum to represent what little of a party they have left. Just like I said, I don't see that happening, but if they were smart, they would just concede the race at this point. They already had one of their lunatics attempt assassination on the rival. I mean, you don't get past stuff like that, unfortunately. And it's sad it had to come to that because violence in any way, shape, or form regarding political actions, movements, or candidates is wrong. And unfortunately, we'll never get the opportunity to prosecute the individual because he caught a 6'5" Creedmoor through the face. But hopefully they will release some information, but I doubt, regarding motive and other stuff they were attempting to discover. I doubt it. Not under this administration. It's going to take newly appointed management in some of these agencies. Oh, by the way, Kim Cheadle, sweet Jesus. I got some information on Kim Cheadle over the last couple of days. Kim Cheadle is the director of the United States Secret Service. And I love the agency. I've worked with a lot of their guys, been out on details and supported details with their guys. A lot of our handlers work missions with them for detection work. They got a lot of great people within that organization. Kim Cheadle, however, is not one of them. And I caught some dirty deets on this hooker regarding doing some neocon nasty in a bunker with Dick Cheney after 9/11 went down. Sweet baby Jesus, as Lou would say. Sweet baby Jesus. I would expect her resignation sometime within the next 24 hours to 48 hours. She's not going to make it. She should have already resigned. However, I believe that the administration should have fired her regarding that failure. Y'all know, especially those in management and leadership, when something really catastrophically fails, like we had last Saturday with the assassination attempt, the management is responsible. You don't even have to be there. The management is responsible. It's your responsibility to make sure that everything is the way that it should be, and shit like that doesn't happen. And there has to be accountability. So this administration clearly has a real hard time holding individuals accountable, as we saw with losing our service members on the Afghan exit. But I expect her resignation here real soon because there's a lot of shit that is, a lot of skeletons making their way out of her closet. And it should not come to that to get somebody to do the right thing. But unfortunately, when they don't do the right thing, we can't have a person like that in a position of power, be it that she denied additional resources to President Trump's campaign, denied Secret Service protection altogether for RFK's campaign. I don't support the guy. The guy has, some ideas that I like, but he is ultimately a Democrat, and he draws some pretty hard lines on abortion, which I'm opposed to, and some other shit that's just diametrically opposed to my moral fiber of being. But I do not believe that man, especially with his family's history, with his dad and his uncle, should have been subject to the dangers that he was with his campaign. Now, RFK has not been running around unprotected. He's had a very professional, highly skilled and trained team from Gavin DeBecker. So it's good that he has a Secret Service detail now moving forward. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, regardless of party, regardless of difference in politics or ideology or moral standards. I do not want to see anybody get hurt. So y'all know where I stand. For those of y'all that are still playing in the stock market, God help you. But you should see some interesting shit happen with some of these positions over the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to get into it because everybody wants some details, want me to talk about it more. The stock market is so fucking corrupt and broken and staged and fucking fabricated. It makes it really hard for me to talk about it with a straight face. For those of y'all holding the coin, we've seen a nice little bump up over the last 7 days or so. We're still waiting for the final settlement to come out. For the idiots out there talking about, the SEC will appeal the settlement. That's not how fucking settlements work. A settlement is a settlement. It's not a verdict. It's not a decision. A settlement is a settlement. You can't appeal a settlement. You can appeal a verdict by a jury in a criminal proceeding. You can appeal a decision made by a judge in a civil proceeding. You cannot appeal a settlement. So that bullshit. You can crumble it up in a nice little ball and shove it dead up your ass because you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. That settlement, I've heard, is good to go, and it's waiting on a signature and stamp from the courts. How soon we'll see that, I don't know, but I would venture to say that once that does hit public record and individuals both here and abroad have that nice little document, we'll be off to the races. So I am on my way in to serve and protect with the glorious team that I've got, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Mr. Osmond, signing off.